And joining us in studio to guide us through this conversation is a man that I got to watch on stage. He was part of a panel discussion at the Liberty Vuyokazi Knowledge Summit, and his own story is a fascinating one. Mpho Dagada. He's only 23, and he is a youngster who's made a small fortune for himself through trading in this digital currency, in this cryptocurrency. And he's done well for himself, not only through Bitcoin, but through other ventures. And he started getting involved while he was studying at UJ.
Hi, my name is Vuyokazi. Welcome to my...
Tired of that. People are saying, well, I want to put my money somewhere else where it's not affected by the president's speech, or it's not affected by what the governor decides he's going to say, or corruption. Right. People are saying, I want to put my money where it's affected by demand and supply. And that's the alternative and beauty of Bitcoin. And I always say, no one is forced to get involved in Bitcoin. It's an open community. Anyone at any given time can get involved or not get involved.
We'll get into that terrain of regulation coming up in a bit, but let's go to Keegan in the meantime. Keegan in Sandton, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. I'm just waiting to find out what altcoins would you recommend to hold for the next 6 months, the next 12 months, and the next 18 months?
Apart from Bitcoin?
Apart from Bitcoin.
All right, thank you, Keegan.
Okay, cool. So I'll list 5.
Okay.
Ethereum, their market cap is currently sitting at around $27 billion US, and one Ethereum coin is worth around, well, these are stats from about a week ago, $286 US. Ripple as well, it's doing quite well. It's very cheap. One Ripple in South Africa costs you about 3 rand.
Ripple, like
Ripple
effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the market cap there is about $7 billion US. Bitcoin Cash is a very good one. I advise it. So that's doing very well. Litecoin as well. Litecoin is currently working with a lot of governments to try and integrate it into the system. And Dash as well. So I'd recommend Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Dash. Those are the coins which I'm looking at very closely and seeing great potential within them.
Keegan, there you go.
Masterclass.
And we're back with Mpho Dagada, the man behind Invest in Future Currency, and his exchange is Nda Exchange. And we're looking at cryptocurrencies as part of today's masterclass. Back to the lines. There's so many questions, and we're going to try and get through as many of them as possible. Now, you're out in Rivonia. What would you like to know?
Azania, look, I'm no expert at all. I'm just really fascinated by the technology, and I've kind of, obviously gone with it. I just want to ask, and stemming from the previous caller that asked about, if there's an influx of so many other cryptocurrencies coming into the space, what guarantee would you have, for the value to kind of maintain? And is my understanding right here? So given that Bitcoin has a reputation, and given that it, obviously has built value through that reputation, because these other cryptocurrencies haven't really proven their technology and it hasn't kind of developed, would that kind of play towards its value over time? And the fact that, fine, there may be 2,000, but doesn't really guarantee that they'll be there in the next year or even 8 years as Bitcoin has been there.
Yeah.
Is that a fair understanding and a fair kind of,
understanding? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair understanding. It's the same thing with early adoption. The fact that people have adopted it at an early stage and prepared systems to accept it as a method of payment, the fact that the development that has gone into developing it and integrating it into systems, the fact that in some countries hedge funds do it. I had a meeting with a man who's running a hedge fund from South Africa in the Cayman Islands for $100 million US, and it's in Bitcoin. So
yeah, I saw that Goldman Sachs, in fact, they're reportedly exploring how clients can trade in cryptocurrency. So even clearly the mainstream.
Yeah, definitely. So he's definitely right in saying Bitcoin has driven that in terms of price. As I've said, there are no specific guarantees.
Right.
The guarantees with the demand and supply in the community.
Right. Let's go to Francois. You're our final caller, Francois. Hi.
Hello. There was a news report on social media, which is probably not very reliable, that Russia has launched a crypto ruble. What do you think about?
All right.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Francois.
We see it a lot. We see a lot of countries doing that. The Bank of China is looking at launching their own cryptocurrency. So basically what banks are saying is they're saying they don't want to be left out. They're realizing that this is a movement. I mean, you've got an industry, or you've got a system or economy worth over 200 billion US dollars. So banks are starting to awaken to the fact that actually something is going on here. It seems that the way we've been doing things has not evolved at a certain pace. So they're starting to say, look, we also want to get involved.
Yeah.
So you are finding those type of talks going around.
It's good to hear that that's happening, because I wanted to know, are we engaging with the ramifications, or how we will deal and regulate, or what kind of guidelines will be in place? Because guidelines vary at the moment depending on which country you're in, around taxing, around mining, around ICOs. Is there a sense of headway about what is going to happen? Because we are seeing the entry of big corporates, IBM, Microsoft, Toyota. They're exploring all sorts of other applications using Bitcoin around things like food security and autonomous vehicles. So there would need to be some regulation at some point.
Most definitely. I like the fact that you've mentioned those companies, because recently Dubai has appointed a certain minister within their cabinet to say we want to look at being the first government to actually use the blockchain. We want to look at Bitcoin as an actual method of payment to integrate into the governmental systems. People can pay their rates and taxes. People can pay their traffic fines using cryptocurrencies. So they're
on a race to be the first.
They're on the race to be the first.
Wow.
And knowing the Emirates nations, yeah. So you're very right in that. And I think what I like the most about the regulation part is that here you've got a blockchain which is transparent, where no one can then lie to the taxman, because your account number, the taxman is able to see exactly what it did on a broad scale. Where to trace a certain family, certain politicians' accounts no longer becomes a mystery. It's very simple for the taxman to say, but minister, here's your account, we can see the transaction that happened, because it's all digital and it leaves a digital imprint.
Yes.
And at the same time, so why we call it blockchain is because every block links into the other. So for you to actually hack the blockchain, you have to hack every block that's ever been mined. It took about 16 million. You'd have to get into each and every person's computer, including mine, and hack that for you to be able to hack it.
That's insane.
We're looking at a system that it's a shame that governments are moving slowly into learning. You sort of need to phase out the old type of learning to learn this new information and say, oh, we've actually mastered banking, but now there's this whole new thing.
Yes.
But it's slowly happening. And as it happens, regulation is coming to the party to say, look, well, if you guys can help us regulate things better and run things more effectively and efficiently, then we're more than happy to have you on board. Currently, it's a bit tricky because people don't understand it. I mean, you've got a governor of a certain financial institution saying, I don't understand it. I've got CEOs calling me in and saying, listen, I need a class from you. What's going on? So in the future, we're looking at regulation coming on board and helping out better the system.
Right. Yeah. Hi, Mpho, high five. I feel so much more at ease or more familiar with it. Sia, I'm with you. I was once like that. Sia says, kindly post a podcast of this Bitcoin topic so I can listen to it again and again. Maybe I'll eventually understand it. I believe in myself. Yes, you can. That was Mpho Dagada, the cryptocurrency expert. His chain or his blockchain, what? Well, your platform, your trading platform is called Nda Exchange, and he's from Invest in Future Currency. And he's a young man who's just done wonders with his entrepreneurial flair and spirit. And he's managed to build a sizable fortune, we won't say how much, by trading in Bitcoin.
Remember, when it comes to making money online, you must always do your own research first and use reputable companies. This is not financial advice.
Thank you very much for watching.